it's preaching time. I said it's preaching time. Amen. Introduce the son, none other, Pastor Bruce Jones. Let's say Nancy come.
Go ahead and give the Lord a hand of praise. For I am sure that he deserves all of our praise and all of our honor. Amen. And we want to glorify God also for our pastor, First Lady in their absence. Give the Lord praise for them. Who have allowed us this chance to practice our preaching. I paused because I needed to pause. Church, my daddy is here. My father and mother are here, Pastor Jesse Jones, my mother, Sister Joyce Jones. Please raise your hand. That is where I come from. Y'all help me celebrate my wife and daughter who are here with me. My wife, who is my boss, and my daughter, who is my fashion coordinator. And all of you, my father's children and church family, I love you and I appreciate this moment to stand as we share. Y'all help me preach. It's a guarantee that I won't be long today. No greater honor for a son than to preach in front of his father. I'm going to sing a little bit, then we're going to get down to the preaching business. Y'all rolling with me today? Shackled by a heavy burden, beneath the load of guilt and shame. But then the hand of Jesus touched me, and he made me whole. Since I met the blessed Savior, since he cleansed and made me whole, oh, I will forever praise him while eternity rolls. He touched me. He touched me. And oh, the joy should have been touched by Jesus. And if you didn't understand what I was saying about, if you keep seeking his face, one day he'll touch you. And he will change your life. That said, I want to call your attention to the gospel according to Luke chapter number 19. Is there, the Holy Ghost has highlighted 10 verses commencing with verse number 1. And if it is your custom that you stand, please do so. If not, at least open the Bible. Luke chapter 19. And when it is that you get there, shout amen. If you are not there yet, say not yet, and we'll wait on you. Luke chapter 19 and verse number 1. Luke 19 and verse number 1. If you're not there, catch up with us when you get there. Amen. Verse number 1 says, and Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. Behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. He sought to see Jesus, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him, and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at your house. He made haste and came down and received him joyfully. And when they saw it, they murmured, saying that he was gone to be a guest with a man that is a sinner. Zacchaeus stood and said unto the Lord, behold, Lord, the half of my goods I will give to the poor. Now, if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation, I will restore him fourfold. Jesus said unto him, this day salvation is come to this house, for so much as he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save that which is lost. Church, I want to call this climb above your shortcomings. You may be seated in the Lord's presence. Grab your neighbor's hand, look them in the face, tell them, neighbor, climb above your shortcomings. Look at the neighbor on the other side. Repeat to them that same thing. Say, neighbor, climb above your shortcomings. Amen. Amen. In 1995, two twin boys were born. One named Shaquin, another one named Shaquille. Two twin boys were born in 1995. One of them was completely healthy. The other one was born with a birth deficiency that caused his left hand to be born premature, where it would not grow. His fingers on his hand would not grow. And one day, because of his birth defect, at the age of 4 or 5 years old, his mother got up in the middle of the night and saw him in the kitchen with a butcher knife, trying to cut his fingers off of his hand. Because of his birth defect, the pain was excruciating. They then made an appointment the next day and took him where he could get surgery, and he had his fingers and his hand cut off. This young man aspiring to be even with his brother, even though he had something short of his brother. Decided that he wanted to play football, and so he began to work vigorously and hard. One day, this boy and his brother played college football in Florida. The opportunity came for the NFL Combine. And this boy went with one hand and outran every man in his position. He ran a 4.3 in a 40-yard dash as a linebacker. He took a clip and clipped his hand on a weight bench bar and benched 225 pounds 20 times. He outperformed everybody in his class. I'm gonna try it again. The boy was born with a birth defect, caused him to live without a hand. He wanted to play football, and he knew that the opportunity one day would come. And he realized that because there's a part of me missing, or because I have a defect, I could not miss my opportunity to change my life for the better. Today, he is a starting linebacker for the Seattle Seahawks. His dream came true because he believed that even though there is a part of me missing, even though there is a deficiency in me, if I seize the right moment, it will change my life for the better, and I will get that thing that I'm trying to get. Since you missed it, you can't let what's wrong with you stop your life from getting better when opportunity shows up. If he don't teach you nothing else, he teaches you that anything that's wrong with you does not stop life from getting better for you. And see, the truth be told, there's something wrong with all of us. And here it is. I stand with you. Some of the stuff we was born with. Some of the stuff you don't know why you got it, but you do got it. But let me tell you something, man and woman of God, that you cannot let what's wrong with you, or what's short in you, or what's missing in you, stop you from seizing the moment that's going to make your life better. This text that the Lord has highlighted for us today is about a man who is born with a deficiency that makes it harder for him than it is for other people. This text is about a man named Zacchaeus, who the Bible says is short in stature. Now let me pause right here and talk to you for a minute, because before we go on, I really need to touch bases with your heart and mind and tell you that all of us got something in our life that's short. Lord help me. All of us got something that's short. Lest our wings fly us out of here with our halo on our head, and we think that because we're a child of God that it ain't something in us short. I came to tell you this morning that there are some areas in all of our lives that's short. Since you didn't get me, I'm gonna pick a few things out. I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking to you. Some of us got short money. I'll be the main person to tell you that I don't have that big, tall, long money. I got that short, barely making it money. I got that money that's $25 short of a full tank of gas. I got that short money. Some of you will be a witness to me. I got that money that pays something on the bill that don't pay all the bill. You know, so we all got something that's really short in our lives. We got stuff. I'm that person that's got that short money. I had to put stuff in the layaway and work on getting it out. I know it's just me today, but I don't have that long money. Some of you may have long money, but I got that short, barely making it money. All of us got something short. I still didn't get you, but some of us in here got a short attitude. Lord, Your attitude is short. I know you're holding it today, and you see the names Zacchaeus in the text, but if you just pause for a moment and stare at it, it'll blur up and your name will show up in this text. Some of us, they got a short attitude. That's why can't nobody drive 5 miles or 1 mile slower than the speed limit in front of you before you lose your cool and got your gun on your lap, pulling around in front of them, jamming on your brake. Why don't you get out of my way? Some of us got a short attitude. Attitude stinks so bad there's fumes coming off of it. Some of us got a short attitude. Some of us got short relationships. You can't depend on nobody in your life. You ever just took an inventory of all the people in your life and realized that you can't count on nobody? That means that you got some short relationships, and sometimes the shortness is on your hot side. Sometimes you the one short of your responsibility. Some of us got some short children. You don't even know where they at until they want something from you. They live right in your house and they won't even say that. They don't even get up in the morning and get in your car, eat your food, just got out of your bed, didn't even make it up, and then speak to you on the way to school. Some of us got short children. All of us got something short. I still didn't get you. I still didn't get it. Some of us are short on our tithes and offering. Lord, help me to talk to him. It seems like every week something happens that makes sure you know your tithe is $50, but you say, I'm going to give 30 because I need this 20 to make it to work. Well, what happened to the rest of the check? Some of us are short. Some of us, all of us got something short. And then some of us, relationship with God is short. Lord, help me here. Yeah, some of us relationship with God is short. Our faith is short. Our pastor has been preaching all summer long. Add something to your faith. He's really, can I translate that for you? Let me translate. He's really saying your faith is short. That's what he's saying. And if you want to put some length on your faith, you got to add 7 things to your faith so you won't have short faith. All right, you're looking at me like I'm speaking Chinese. Get to the house and let a new bill get there after all your money is gone. Tears will settle in your eyes. And you'll look up into heaven in the backyard and say, Lord, why me? Knowing that he just healed you from cancer, you worried about a light bill. That's because you got short faith. Touch somebody and say, all of us short somewhere. All of us is short somewhere. But this text raises some terrible tension and tells you that even though you're short, you can't let your shortness stop you from trying to get into a better place. Okay, all right. Here it is. Y'all grab something. This is a bazooka. Y'all ready? We got a text, Brother Trump, about a man who's got a big job and a short life. Lord help me here. He's got a big badge and a little life. Text says he's not just a publican, he is the chief of publicans. Which means he's over the other tax collectors. Can we do a little history? A tax collector in that day was a Jewish man who worked for a Roman government, taking taxes from his own people. Since you don't get it, this man got a job making it hard for his own people for a big name. Lord help me here. See, and if you really take a look at this text, you'll find out that all of us are trying to get a position to hide how short we are at home. Lord help me on. See, you got the chair of deacons and the top trustee and the baddest preacher badge on and the choir director and the choir singer in here. But when you get home, don't nobody know your name. I was trying to move on, but you're pushing on the button, so let me go ahead and blow my horn. I heard a story. Daddy. Here's the story. Heard a story
about a pastor who had a lady in his church. She's an evangelist and a prophetess. And when church is out, people can't hardly get to their car because she's laying hands and praying and healing, casting out demons and habits all the way to their car. One day, she came into the pastor's office and told the pastor, "Pastor, I need to talk to you. I need prayer." He said, "Well, evangelist, come on in." And she came in. She sat down. She said, "I got a son who's at home. He's on drugs. And my son is stealing all my TVs and going in my bank account and fighting me, and I ain't got no control over him. And I need you to go to God and tell God to help me with my son and to change him and to heal him." And the pastor was leaning back in his chair, and he sat up, he stood up, he walked over to the door. He said, "Evangelist, I'm not going to pray for you today." He said, "I'm not going to pray that God heal your son. I'm going to pray for the drugs." And she said, with great dismay, "Pastor, why aren't you going to pray?" He said, "Well, if you got all this power in this church, you got to have some of that power at your house. Go home and cast that demon out of your own son. You don't need me. If you powerful here in the church, you ought to be powerful at home. I knew I wasn't going to get no help in here, but you holy in here and hellish at the house." You got a big reputation with a small life. You got a big job with a small life. I didn't get you. We got a president who got a big job with a small life. Your job does not carry any weight when your life does not line up with your title. We got empty seats in our churches right now because you big and here and small at home. Child of God, I need to tell you, you ought to be as much at the house as you are here down at the church. See, that's the problem. Everything in the black church got to have a label on it. Whatever it is, it's got to turn into a ministry. I'm the ministry, the food ministry. I'm the culinary ministry. I searched the Bible. I never did find culinary ministry in the Bible. You got to put a tag on it to give me a piece of chicken? Brother Johnson is the chairman of the transportation ministry. Really? You need a badge to come by my house and give me a ride to a place you going? You got to pass my house to go to the church. Because we believe that big positions hide small lives. That's why everybody needs a title when they get to the church. Everybody needs a title when they get to the church. They got to be called something. Just lately, I just heard this word, associate pastor. What is an associate pastor? My daddy said anything with two heads is a freak. The fact of the matter is that we got big titles and small lives. Text says that this man is short in stature. And this man has a big title. But this man not only has a big title with a short life, he lives in a short neighborhood. I'll tell you this right quick, then we're going to get 3 points and get in our city. He lives in a place called Jericho, which when Israel came into the promised land, God cursed through a man named Joshua. By the way, the Greek word for Jesus is Joshua. He curses Jericho as a fortified city, which means if there's an existing city, it's built on the destruction of the past. So he lives in a neighborhood that even God has said ain't a good neighborhood. You with me? Okay, let's take inventory. He lives in a bad neighborhood. He got a big job that's got a bad reputation on him. And in all of that, he's still short. Text says that a man who is short heard that Jesus was coming to town. Let me pause right here and tell you right now, Jesus is coming to town. I don't know how that's going to make you feel. sealed on the inside, but one day the Lord shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel. He's going to crack the sky. He's coming to town. The question is, what are you willing to do to see Jesus? Text says, this man lives in a bad neighborhood. This man got a big job, but he's got a small life, and he wants to see Jesus. And listen, let me tell you, it is by no coincidence that Jesus is coming to town. Watch me now. Jericho is 800 feet below sea level on the other side of the Dead Sea. Which means for Jesus to come through town, he's got to go out of his way to come through town. Because he could have cut through Samaria. But because of the rejection in Samaria, he said, I'll go around the city of rejection and go through the city of sinners. I need to give you something for free. Be careful when you got an attitude that you deserve for Jesus to come through your city. He'll bypass you and go see a sinner. Lord, help me talk in this phone. I know. You think we special, but sinners are getting closer to God and changing than the people that's in the church. Okay, all right. Text says he could have went through Samaria. He'd been to Samaria before. He could have been through Samaria. Matter of fact, one woman had the whole town come down and hear Bible class over some water in Samaria. But instead of going through Samaria, he went the back door way and came through Jericho. When he gets close to Jericho, somebody told the people in Jericho Jesus was coming. Right? The crowd rushes down to the road, to the main drag in which Jesus would be coming by. Zacchaeus hears it and says, I want to see Jesus too. I cannot tell you why I want to see Jesus, but I've heard some good things about Jesus. So I want to make sure that I see him when he get close. Now the problem in the text is not that there's too many people to see Jesus, but that the man that wants to see Jesus in the text is too short to see past people. You with me? Zacchaeus gets down to where Jesus would pass by. And the crowd is not just many, they bigger than him. And the text says that Zacchaeus decided that the crowd ain't his problem. Zacchaeus said the problem is that I'm short. I'm going to try it again. Zacchaeus want to see Jesus. He get down to the road where Jesus going to come by. It's a crowd of people there to see Jesus. And he realizes that I can't see past them or over them. So Zacchaeus says, if you really want to see Jesus, Prayer Temple, you got to be willing to eliminate people. Lord, help me here. Zacchaeus said, I can't be mad or hate that they want to see Jesus because we got that in common. I cannot figure out why they want to see Jesus. I know what I want to see Jesus. And Zacchaeus says, if you want to see Jesus, the first thing you got to do is eliminate some people. This is going to be a tight thing, but when you get to church on Sunday, everybody here want to see Jesus. But you got to get in a place in your mind where you by yourself and around people at the same time. Because you can't let other people stop you from seeing the Jesus you trying to see. What that means, church, is that you can't let how good or how bad the praise team does be the reason that you see Jesus. If they don't sing good, that's all right with me. I came to see Jesus for myself. And if they got a bad attitude, if you come into church and you sit down next to somebody and their attitude stink, get up and move. Don't be afraid to get up and move. Go find you a seat in a section where you might be by yourself, but where you can see clearly. Here's something for free. Here's something for free. When you got a boo at church, you can't sit with them all the time at church. Because how much you like or dislike them in that moment could block you from seeing the Jesus you came all the way down here to see. See, I knew that we was going to get some silence right there, because you don't realize that the reason that you come to church the way you were and leave just like you came is because you came here and you were sitting next to somebody who interfered with how you felt with God. Somebody you were connected to had the wrong attitude and they interfered with you seeing God. You should never come and see Jesus and stay the same. If you come all the way down here from wherever you live just to see Jesus and he comes by here, you ought to go home different than you did when you came here. Like Kid says, the first thing you got to do is you got to eliminate people. He said because people are the biggest problem, and I can't hate on people that want to see Jesus. See, this text eliminates the club and the casino and your house. Because this text says that Jesus is going to show up in a place, and everybody went to the place where Jesus was going to show up. And the only place I know where I can guarantee that Jesus is going to pass by is the church. So this text ain't a worldly message. This text is to the church. When all of us come together. And see, you can't be concerned about everybody else when you come to see Jesus for yourself. You got to care within yourself that I came all the way down here to see Jesus for myself. So I don't care who sing good or who sing bad. I don't care who got a bad attitude. I don't care how much money I got. I'm short, I got a bad attitude, but I still came to see Jesus. That's what I like about this text, Minister John. He didn't try to grow before he went to go see Jesus. Yeah, he didn't try to get bigger before he went to go see Jesus. He didn't try to get a suit that would carry weight that would give him so he could go see Jesus. He said, I'm going to go see Jesus with my shortcomings. See, you still ain't got it. You don't realize that you have to come see Jesus when there's something wrong with you. Even when it's you that's got the bad attitude. Even when it's you that ain't got no money. Even when it's you that's sick. Sometimes you got to be willing to go see Jesus for yourself. But when you get there, you don't need no interference. Said you can't have no interference. This text is tailored to teach you that you cannot allow other people to stop you from seeing Jesus. Okay, wait a minute. Y'all won't let me go past this. You know, we can actually stop at point number 1 and go home. But I know you ain't gonna sit here and act like that it ain't nothing wrong with you. I know you ain't gonna do that. But you also can't act like that people don't get in your way sometimes. There are times where the trouble in your life is another person. And you got to be willing to disconnect from people who are blocking your view of Jesus. I still didn't get you. Isaiah chapter 6 says, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord. I got anybody to read the Bible? It means that a preacher who is already in ministry could not see God because his good uncle was in the way. I'm going to say this, then we'll go to the next point. It's some good people blocking you from seeing Jesus. Lord, help me. It's some people that are good people. And because they're so good, all you see is they're good. And you never see the Jesus that made them good. Well, let me tell you something, child of God. Be willing to disconnect from people that stop you from seeing Jesus for yourself. He said the first thing you got to do is you got to have an elimination. You don't eliminate them because of something wrong with them. You eliminate them because of something wrong with you. And because you're short, you got to get away from people. And so sometimes to get what you want, you got to stand out. Lord, help me there. You got to look crazy. You got to be willing to do what nobody else was do so you can get what ain't nobody else got. The text says he got to where Jesus would come, and he separated himself and he ran away from them. Child of God, let me tell you this. You ain't got time to be walking out of what you're in. You got to get on your bicycle and run out of what you're in. Because you ain't got time. You don't know how long Jesus is going to be here. Now listen, you got to celebrate that these people are there, because if they there, that means Jesus somewhere in the neighborhood. If Jesus somewhere in the neighborhood, you got to get to the place that you know he's going to cross. Right? Text says he didn't just eliminate the people. He said if you really want to see Jesus, you eliminate people. But Minister John, then you've got to elevate your mind. The text says, church, that he didn't just run away from them. Text says he came to a sycamore tree and climbed in a sycamore tree. Sycamore trees in the Bible days grew to be about 60 feet high. So you got a short man trying to climb a big tree. You answer me, if he had already eliminated the people, why didn't he just stay on the ground and wait till Jesus passed? You ready? Because Zacchaeus said, even without people, I'm still short. Lord help me. And see, you can't think more of yourself than you ought to. Just because you eliminate the people that would block you, don't mean that you still don't have to elevate yourself. He said, if I stay on the ground, I'll see Jesus' flesh. But if I get in a tree, I'll see Jesus' God. Lord help me here. If I stay on the ground, I'll be on the ground and see him walking like a man. But if I get in a tree, I'll see him the way his Father sees him. See, that's the problem. Some of us see him, but we see him from the wrong angle. All right. I ain't going to finish this, Minister John. I ain't going to finish this. Watch this. D, watch this. Anybody in here watch football? I love football. I'm praying for the Lions today. Right? Watch this. Anybody watch football? Daddy, the players on the field are in battle with each other. The coaches on both sides are in strategy with each other. And there are times on the field where a referee will call something that is not fair. And the coach got a red flag. He'll take the red flag and throw it on the field. I should pause and say, man, yeah. Minister John, when a problem on the field happens, he takes a red flag and throws a red flag on the field. And the red flag goes on the field will make the people on the field review it. And I asked myself, what made him on the sideline who couldn't see everything argue with a man who was on the field who could see everything? And I discovered that he's got on some headphones. And that somebody in the headphones is sitting in a booth in the top of the stadium. And he can see the field from in the top of the stadium better than the man on the field can see the stadium. So when something ain't right, he sees it different than the people on the field. I can't get no help on this in this church. The people on the road saw Jesus one way. Lord help me here. But the man in the booth in the tree saw him another way. Do I have any people that understand that it's a tree that makes you see Jesus right? Lord, take an exit right there. And I got one more thing to tell you. He said, let me get in the tree. Then text says, Minister John, that Jesus came down the road and he gets past the people. Text says when he got to that place, he looked up and saw him. Do y'all see that in the Bible? Text says Jesus walked down. He looked up and he saw him. We got to pause because saw is in its perfect tense. The perfect tense means that we can't change that action in the text because the text is in the past. It says he saw him. Well, saw changes the definition of the word from eyesight to insight. Lord, help me here. It's the word eido in the Greek. What that means is that Jesus knew him. Lord, help me here. Text says that Jesus, who never met Zacchaeus on the earth, came to a tree and knew Zacchaeus. Lord, help me here. See, when you elevate yourself, you stand out. And when Jesus comes to you, he'll proclaim to the world that I know him. I don't know none of y'all down here standing on this road, but I know that man is in that tree. Text says when Jesus got to the tree, Lord help me here, I know him. And the text says when he got to that place, he knew Zacchaeus. Y'all don't think he knew him? But he said, hey, Zacchaeus. He didn't say, young man, come down. Text does not say that he laid eyes on him. The text says he saw him, he knew him. And he proves that he knows him because he called his name. Anybody in here? God ever called your name in front of everybody? So we know that you and God close because he called your name in the public. Text says Jesus said, Zacchaeus, come down. Now we got to argue that for a minute. I ain't going to get to my third point, and we're going to get out of here. Y'all ready? Text says, he said, Zacchaeus, come down. Right? Zacchaeus, he said, make haste and come down. In other words, man, hurry up and get down out that tree. Text translates, Jesus saw a man he knew named Zacchaeus and called him by his name and said, hurry up and come down out the tree. Right? Zacchaeus says, when you elevate yourself and Jesus knows you and he calls you by your name, whatever he tells you to do, hurry up and do it. The problem in the text, y'all, is not, catch me now, that Jesus knew him. Because Jesus clearly proves he knows who he is. But Brother Trav, tell me how Zacchaeus knew that was Jesus. Lord help me there. The text starts off saying he wanted to get down there to see him so he could see who he was, which means he never seen Jesus before. Can I tell you what that means, child of God? You'll know that you're seeing Jesus when whatever you're looking at is familiar with you before you're familiar with it. He said, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down. Let me tell you this, then we're going to go home running. Y'all ready? Zacchaeus made haste and came down. My question is, Jesus, why did you want him to come down out the tree? The man that ran down, couldn't see you through the crowd, separated him from the crowd, ran an unknown distance. We don't know how far he ran. Stayed in the tree for an unknown time. We don't know how long he was in the tree. And after all that he did, you made him get off of what he climbed on to see you. Jesus said, Bruce Jones, Prayer Temple, the reason I made that boy come out the tree is because I can't let our relationship start with him on the tree and me on the ground. Our relationship got to start with me on the tree and him on the ground. I ain't got no help here. See, if you're on the tree, then you're the sacrifice. It is your tree, but Jesus hung on your tree. Can I get a witness in this house? He says, Zacchaeus, you come down off of this tree, and I'm going to go get on the tree, because we in Luke 19, and Jesus is on his way to Calvary. And this reminds me of something. I did a little research, John, and while I looked, and that tree that Zacchaeus got on is still standing. Can I get a witness in here? And they took a plaque and took Zacchaeus' name and put it on the side of the tree. And to this day, a tree that's over 2,000 years old is standing with Zacchaeus' name on it. You still didn't get it because you don't realize that tree is your tree. I'm not going to finish this, but I'm reminded of a story, y'all, of a little boy whose name is John. Can I get a witness here? A little boy named John, y'all, used to work in a cross shop with his father. Can I get a witness in here? Little John's about 5 years old. Little John made his way every day down to his daddy's cross shop. And while his daddy is working, little John got over in the corner and he began to build his own cross. One day John got finished, Brother Rowe, with his cross. He took his daddy's knife and he carved in the cross the letter J, and he carved in the cross the letter O, and he carved in the cross the letter H, and he carved in the cross the letter N. Can I get a witness? John went home was asleep, and his daddy went on to work anyhow. Can I get a witness? Thank you, Lord. Hold me while I preach your word. Can I get a witness? And John woke up, realized that his daddy was already gone down to the cross shop. Can I get a witness? And so John got up, clothes on, and ran down to his daddy's cross shop. And when he got there, he said, Daddy, I've looked all around and I can't find my cross. Can I get a witness? His daddy said, son, I know you can't find it because the men are having a crucifixion over on Calvary and they took your cross. Can I get a witness? And John made his way, Lord, he made his way over to a hill called Calvary, and 3 crosses were hanging there. He said, is the crucifixion over? The centurion soldier said, yeah, it's over, son. He said, well, y'all came and took my cross. He said, well, look and see which one of these is your cross. He went to the cross on the right. Can I get in there? He looked up and down that cross, but he didn't see his name. He said, no, this is not my cross. So he went over to the cross on the right. He looked that cross up and down. He said, no, this is not my cross. But then he got to the cross that was in the middle, and he saw blood all over the cross. And he looked at the centurion soldier. He said, who is this man that died on this cross? The centurion servant said that a man whose name is Jesus died on this cross. He said, is this your cross? He said, yes, this is my cross. Never my name. He said, but the problem is the blood of Jesus covered my name. Can I get a witness? And in case you missed it here, you got a cross. And I got a cross. But we didn't die on it. Jesus died on it. Shout, yeah!